attendance, and the millions around the world who wish they could be here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Already it has been a tumultuous evening in Cowboy Stadium. Prior to the fight, Antonio Margarito's hand-wrapping exercise was, because of his recent history, carefully observed, probably the most carefully watched hand-wrap ever, and of course Pacquiao's hand-wrap was so observed. But during the same period of time, members of Pacquiao's camp believed they saw Antonio Margarito either drinking coffee or taking an ephedra-based substance in the dressing room. They protested to the Texas State Athletic Commission. The Athletic Commission had to bring the two trainers.
I see he's punching. He's not used to punching at a man as big as this man is, who seems to be absorbing his blows pretty easy.
Punching up at an angle robs you of power, does it not?
Yes, it does.
So he has a better chance to affect Margarito with his normal power if Margarito hunches over and brings himself down to him a little bit.
What I'm surprised about is Margarito's jab, which is a very good move. And that seems to be at this stage, the most dominant punch in the fight has been his left jab.
And the last thing people expected to see was Antonio Margarito standing in the middle of the ring and boxing with Manny Pacquiao, but that's what's happened so far. There's a left hand over the top for Manny that brings the crowd to life for him. Almost exclusively jabs in the first round. That goes against the scouting report. Pacquiao with a good right-left combination upstairs. Margarito's grinning at him as twice Pacquiao fired the left right up the gut and landed it on Margarito's face.
Margarito has shown a good jab, especially early in the round, but Pacquiao's dominated this round with a right hook, with a straight left hand to the body.
Well, he's won maybe the round, but I don't think he's dominated. I think I see a lot of factors with the jabs of Margarito's too.
The speed advantage is unquestioned, and you saw Pacquiao's blazing hand speed at the end of the round. Margarito 13 out of 53, the shock of the round. Margarito throwing 44 jabs out of 53 punches.
I gave the round slightly to Pacquiao because he landed some pretty clean punches, but the left jab seems to be becoming more of a factor as the fight goes on from Margarito. But I thought Pacquiao landed enough clean shots inside to slightly win the round.
Margarito has been a notoriously slow starter through much of his career. A 53-punch output for Antonio Margarito in round one seems very low, but he has had trouble getting rolling in the early parts of some of his fights, notably the Paul Williams fight.
Also hit a bit more than we're used to seeing hit in recent fights.
Yeah,
and here Margarito has landed not only some shots, he landed a headbutt followed by a right hand. These are hard shots from a big man.
And the size has been a big factor in this fight, as I see right here.
But speed belongs to Pacquiao, and so he rallies back there. Still, the loss of power from punching up could be a factor in the fight. Pacquiao beginning to focus a little more to the body, I think. And if there was one thing Freddie Roach harped on throughout training, it was, don't put your back on the ropes. Never.
Looks like Pacquiao is determined not to be bullied by the bigger guy and is foregoing some defense and a little bit more in the mode that we saw him as a lighter fighter when he would go toe-to-toe more with some of the great Mexican fighters that he beat south of lightweight.
Hand uppercut there.
This is why when you asked me, did Margarito have a chance, I said yes, mainly a lot because of the size factor. And Pacquiao's, I'm looking at the eyes, Pacquiao's much more uncomfortable than Margarito is at this stage, even though he may be winning the fight.
Brand new experience for Pacquiao, of course, fighting a man this big. Delectable experience, perhaps, for Margarito, fighting a man this small. Couple of power shots at the end of the round, though. And most of Pacquiao's are power punches inside. You heard Freddie Roach saying to Pacquiao, it's too early to start trying to bang this guy around. You need to soften him up a little more.
It's been a long time since Manny Pacquiao looked vulnerable, and he's looked a little vulnerable here early.
Margarito's jab is bothering Pacquiao. Good straight left hand by Pacquiao. Brought it around Margarito's glove and landed flush. Another one. Little right hook inside for Pacquiao. Despite the vaunted Pacquiao power, none of these punches seem to be really bothering Margarito. They're just landing. There, then moves away. Now his back is against the ropes. Margarito tries to press the action. Pacquiao hits him flush with a big left hand, and then flurries and backs Margarito off again. Pacquiao using the hand speed advantage to get Margarito off of it.
It does look like, Emmanuel, that Manny Pacquiao has figured out something in Margarito in the last minute or so.
Yeah, the one thing he's got to do is punch in flurries and get in and out. Because just trying to just force a knockout is not going to happen.
Pacquiao hadn't won the round before the last. It was a very good round for Manny. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim. 3-0, 30-27, Manny Pacquiao. Jim, I love the guy's power punching. I mean, you know, really, he's winning this fight on clean, effective punching. Now, he shows great ring generalship. Don't take it away from him. He throws the right, then he throws the left, then he steps to the side. So when Margarito comes out of the shell, he don't hit him because the guy ain't there. You know, that's good ring generalship. Pacquiao does it all the time. 3-0, Pacquiao.
I gotta say, I agree with Harold, guys. I see this as a wide fight.
I think you're looking at 12 rounds of nervous jeopardy, but he might win every round.
What we see
On the other hand, Margarito is telling his corner, and has told them several times, according to interpreter Jerry Olaya, he has no power, he can't hurt me. Talking about Pacquiao. Now, the marks begin to show on Margarito's face as he has a big red welt under his right eye. So Pacquiao can do that.
Yeah, Margarito's saying that Pacquiao's not hurting him, but his face is telling a different story.
Indeed. And Pacquiao's beginning to land. But he's beating Margarito up in this round. There's a huge welt under Margarito's right eye. He's backing Margarito up, and he's hurting him. And Margarito can say all he wants that Pacquiao can't hurt him, but that's not true.
Pacquiao hurt him with a body punch, I think, and everybody took all of the starch out of him.
Margarito misses wildly with a right to the body. Pacquiao is fully in control now. Hand speed slices you up. Pacquiao stood still for a moment, got backed in the ropes and hit with an uppercut. But that's the only bad moment so far in an otherwise totally dominant round.
Margarito slowed down tremendously this round, even though he wasn't doing too much and he was losing. But it seemed like that one body punch took everything out of him.
Among all the experts' comments coming into the fight, one of the ones I found most interesting was from Joshua Clottey. Clottey said, demonstrating what a lot of people said coming into the fight, that Margarito is a big but easy target. CompuBox tells us that Manny's output in round 4 represents the largest number of punches ever landed on Antonio Margarito in a single round.
And you know, Pacquiao punches
against
great.
Cotto, and here comes Pacquiao.
As always.
He loves to answer back.
Yes.
Incidentally, guys, I mentioned CompuBox saying that Pacquiao just landed the most punches ever landed on Antonio Margarito in a single round. This despite the fact that Margarito went 12 rounds with extreme volume.
And you know, he always wants to get the better of an exchange. That's why it's hard to win rounds against him, because if you get him with a punch, he's going to get you back before the bell rings. And look at the different angles that the punches are coming from.
When Pacquiao's trainer, Freddie Roach, was asked about the huge weight advantage that was likely here for Margarito, he said, look, I hope he goes up to 180. Every pound he adds is better for us. Something taken out of him again, Emmanuel, the body shots.
That one shot to the body seemed to have changed the fight tremendously. Not that Margarito was winning, but at least he was fighting with better spirit and better speed. But that one shot, everything seemed to sap out of him for a moment.
Well, of course, since Manny's a southpaw, it wasn't a left hook to the body, it's a left cross. But the bottom
Margarito staggered.
Lands in the same place. Straight left-hand shots for Pacquiao, staggering Margarito momentarily there. Big right hook. Great shot. That's the eye out of which Margarito has to try to track Manny Pacquiao's lightning left hand. Maybe the fastest punch in boxing.
You know what? And not just speed, but he punches with power. Most of the guys that have speed, they don't have power.
Pacquiao in the fifth, or Pacquiao through the first 5 rounds, averaging 33 out of 81. Margarito averaging 18 out of 63. 63 punches average per round for Antonio Margarito, who at the height of his career a few years ago.
This is what I said he should do continually.
Creating angles?
Create angles, yeah, because
there's no way Margarito can find him. No way Margarito finds him when he does that. Just too much side to side.
Pacquiao was moving to his left to start the round to try to move into Margarito's eye where Margarito couldn't see him. That didn't work, so he started moving right and beat him up that way.
As cornerback Charles Tillman made a pilgrimage to Las Vegas to watch Manny Pacquiao fight against Miguel Cotto. Afterward, I asked him what was most impressive. He said, easy, the footwork. I've never seen any athlete in any sport.
Very few people realize that his footwork is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's what Tillman said. I've never seen an athlete in any sport who can get to so many places so fast.
And have punching power. A lot of guys move, but it's strictly footwork. He can move and punch from any of those angles or balanced positions that he's in.
Now Margarito catches Pacquiao twice against the ropes, and Manny finally is able to dodge away. But this gives Margarito energy, this gives him will and confidence. Suddenly he's back in the fight as he's tasted for a moment the advantage of having Pacquiao against the ropes. This is Pacquiao's nightmare, locked in a trap against a much bigger man. Fights his way out of it, bloodies Margarito some more. Now round 7 begins, to more than halfway through the fight. Harold Letterman, how do you have it so far?
Okay, Jim. I've got it 6-0, 60-54, Manny Pacquiao. I got to tell you, as close as that 6th round was, Manny Pacquiao still landed the cleaner, harder shots. I thought he pulled it out in the end. Be as it may, Manny circling back and forth, bobbing and weaving, getting on the Margarito shots, and landed tremendous shots of his own. And Jim, the one thing we can't measure is the amount of pain that Margarito feels every time he gets hit on that.
But a lot of judges do that just to keep him in the fight, so to say.
Jim, you mentioned that it's Pacquiao's nightmare. I think Pacquiao loves it. It might be Freddie Roach's nightmare to get trapped in that fight, but I think Pacquiao loves a good scrap like the last round.
I think you're correct. I think it's Freddie Roach's nightmare. I think it might be Bob Arum's nightmare. But the bottom line is, you're right. Manny loves to fight.
Loves to fight.
Loves the challenge.
Well, this is a dazzling display of boxing skill, power, everything. Ring general.
Well, I'll say this. I've covered boxing for 24 years, and I covered Ray Leonard from ringside, and this is the best offensive fighter I've ever seen.
He does it all and fights everybody. That's what I like about him. He's really enjoying himself here. See him try to do the kind of Ollie shuffle a few seconds ago.
See what's kept Margarito up in this fight is his enormous size. I thought Pacquiao would stop Margarito right around the 6th or 7th round, and
you may be on target,
or you may be, because Margarito seems to be weathering these storms pretty well in spite of the way his face looks.
Margarito's hanging in, and he's having more flurries as the fight continues, but Pacquiao just stunned him with a right hook and backed him off again. Pacquiao 45 of 104, his high output for the fight. Margarito 31 out of 71, his best round of the fight, landing at 44%. Harold Letterman has still given every round in the fight so far to Manny Pacquiao. And incidentally, I'll alter my prediction, guys. If Margarito throws an uppercut from too far away, Pacquiao might counter him and knock him out.
That replay that we just showed was a 6-punch combination where every punch landed from Pacquiao in the middle of the ring.
And we look at the...
There was a time in the middle of his career when Manny Pacquiao was a terrific, world-class, one-handed fighter. Margarito banging him against the ropes here, trying to get to Pacquiao's body. That could change the fight. Pacquiao fighting back with his back on the ropes.
And here comes
Manny. And he turns it around and bangs Margarito. He low there.
Going 15 and 16 rounds. That's because he wins his fights on stamina. So even though he's tired and being beat up pretty much, he trains himself to fight this way. So he's still going to be fighting very strong going down the stretch in this fight. Because that's his biggest factor, is fighting while he's tired.
Manny's blocking some of the punches, taking some. He took a big left hook there. Remember, Pacquiao is taking full shot, but he's not breaking Manny Pacquiao up the way he did Miguel Cotto. Draw your own conclusions.
I talked to Miguel earlier today. Miguel said this was going to be a very tough fight. Because I was telling him, I thought that Pacquiao had to edge. He said, man, he may have edge, but it's going to be a hard fight.
What an exchange.
What a fight. I mean, this is a fun fight to watch. Pacquiao landed 35 out of 65. That's sensational. Margarito had a tremendous round, landing 29 out of 55. Again, Harold Letterman continues to give every round to Manny Pacquiao. So I think with the rest of us.
Even when Margarito's having those great moments with Pacquiao's back on the ropes, Pacquiao, even in those moments, is landing almost as much as Margarito, it seems to me.
And gentlemen, CompuBox reports that the
Big,
34
almost 20 pounds bigger. Manny would have knocked him out sooner. But he's been able to absorb. It's much like when Sugar Ray Roberts fought Joey Maximum time. And he did everything, but the 15-pound weight advantage was too much, and it wore Robertson down.
Remember that when Henry Armstrong went up and tried to win the middleweight,
I think Manny would have knocked out.
there was another left-hand rally by Manny Pacquiao. But showing intelligence and perhaps some fatigue, Pacquiao for the first time in this round has begun to move away simply to create space between himself and Margarito. Call it breathing room.
And smart strategy. He can pretty much do what he wants from long range, even though he's the smaller fighter. Pacquiao's maybe decided that he can't knock Margarito out at this point.
Unless somebody wants to stop the fight because of that right eye, which is grotesque at this point.
And as I said, that Pacquiao landed some great hooks. Knockout style hooks.
Still see. Tests him in the middle of the ring. Harold, how do you have it so far?
I still got it a shutout. 90-81, 9 rounds to nothing. The hard-punching Manny Pacquiao. Jim, he's landed a cleaner, harder shots in every round. He's elusive as all get out, like Emmanuel's been saying. I mean, he's doing it all right. Beautiful ring generalship, fairly good defense. You know, he's been really aggressive, just fighting the perfect fight. 9-0, Manny Pacquiao.
Well, it's not just that Margarito's 17 pounds bigger, it's that Pacquiao's moved up 40 pounds and then gave away 17 pounds.
Right, he's a former flyweight, beating up one of the biggest welterweights we ever saw.
Yes, and I still don't consider Pacquiao no more than just a lightweight, about 138, 39-pounder.
And incidentally,
which is amazing.
You've noticed that long beard on Margarito. Freddie Roach wanted to get the Texas State Athletic Commission to make Margarito shave off the beard, which probably they would have done. The Pacquiao's Manny. Boom! Another perfect right hook. What a show. What an amazing performance.
Physically fatigued both. And this right hook.
He's ready to go.
That's one of the biggest jabs I've ever seen.
It was a right hook. He didn't see it coming.
That was a right hook from Pacquiao.
Yeah, Pacquiao
stopped Margarito in his tracks.
Perfect fight.
He had another 30 seconds.
He still may stop him. He may get out of this round, but I think it's a good chance that Pacquiao may stop him in the next couple of rounds.
And landed 9. That's why Robert Garcia clearly gave consideration to stopping the fight.
Another measure of redemption for Margarito. Even though he's the villain with the hand wraps, he has a ton of heart. He could have gotten out of this fight a million times. Whenever the ref says, how many fingers am I holding? He wants to keep fighting. He's not just doing it as a show for the referee or for the fans, rather. Look at me, I'm tough.
That's what he's saying to Cole.
But the referee's doing a good job, I think. It's right that you can't stop it yet. Because as long as the guy's punching back, If he was back to the ropes and being hit or something, would be different. But at this stage here, he's being out punched. But the referee has to wait a few more seconds before he can stop.
Manuel, he's rearranging Margarito's face, and it may never look the same again.
I know, but it's just this is boxing. I hate to say it.
This is a vicious
This is
beatdown.
boxing. Yeah.
His punches have zero snap. He is waving at Pacquiao.
If the referee stopped, there wouldn't be any complaint, but I just don't think he's going to stop it as tape goes.
Pacquiao again looks at Lawrence Cole.
It's a solid target. He's not moving his head at all.
This reminds me of Roy Jones against Bryant Brannon. Jones actually asked the referee, when in the heck are you going to stop this fight? Margarito fought to the finish against Shane Mosley, who is hammering him similarly to this. Corner asked if they wanted the fight, or if he wanted the fight stopped. He said no. Wanted the fight to the finish. Same thing here, obviously. But it's not doing Margarito any good to take the number of shots he's taking now. Flush on an already badly brutalized lengthy arena. You can see that the smile is utterly gone from the face of Margarito's spouse. They've been together since high school. She's never seen him like this. Max, I honestly wonder whether Pacquiao has no more stomach for the punishment. He doesn't seem eager to hit Margarito anymore.
He does look like he's carried.
Most of the time. It's an acknowledgement from Pacquiao that the knockout isn't necessary. To a certain degree, it's a nod to Margarito's guts and courage for coming as far as he has. And Pacquiao is going to let him finish the fight.
You wonder seeing this, as great as Pacquiao is and as dominant as until he felt the time was right. He noticed Hagler slow down against Duran and Mugabe. Then he took the fight. You wonder if maybe Floyd is waiting for Pacquiao to slow down a little bit. Because to my eye, guys, this Pacquiao's not quite the same as the Pacquiao of maybe a year or two ago. A little easier to hit.
That's hard to say because he's fighting such different guys every time. But obviously, he's not trying to finish Margarito. This is not Manny Pacquiao, the fighter. This is Manny Pacquiao, the congressman. Manny Pacquiao, the cultural icon. Manny Pacquiao, the citizen of the world. That's the man who's letting Margarito finish. And we're done.
We go to the scorecards. Jay Lango scores the bout 120-108. Glenn Crocker 118-110. Oren Schellenberger 119-109. All three to the winner by unanimous decision. And now winner of his 8th World Championship, the fighting pride of Sarangani Province, Philippines, Manny